Hello, heading through the weekend, wondering what's going to happen. Well, as far as the weather system sitting out west, big lump of cloud, but as it works in, it just goes fizzles out. You can see the area looking rather mottled. The red bits, of course, the higher, colder cloud tops. The centre of the low, sitting there, does start to fizzle because the main energy with this weather system is going down that way. So it's almost like taking it apart and just spreading it out. So it's mainly mid and high level cloud. There is some wet weather though. Most of that works into the west coast. So I think the further north and east you are, your weekend isn't too bad. That's how it looks at the moment. So you can see this rather mottled looking area of cloud. Most of it is just that mid and high level sort of cloud, but there is some wet weather moving in on the leading edge of that front. Some swift old winds with it too. But as we run our way through the first part of the weekend, watch what happens and watch the area blue as well. A few heavier bursts to parts of Fiordland, Westland, and then as the weather system moves in, the energy is going that way. So watch the area blue. It starts to thin, like taking a piece of blue plasticine, you pull it apart, the next thing you know, you can't see it. So it's as it comes in to places like northern parts of Westland, Buller, thinning out. All the while, we're fine, we're dry across much of the Northland. Picking up a bit more clouds. So as you wake up in the morning, in some spots, it's probably going to be a decent start to the day. Remember all the blue on the west coast of the South Island? Gone, because the weather system is fizzling. But it will bring some cloud across. There might even be just a few spots of rain. You wake up in the morning, maybe Wellington, maybe up to Taranaki with the front close by. Just the odd spot. Not a washout, but just because the front is close by. And a bit more cloud creeps across parts of the North Island. Whereas down south, all that rain that was there, gone. Things improving, and our high just sort of sitting there just trying to squeeze the neck of this front and fizzle it out. So for the most part, the weekend isn't looking too bad. There'll be a bit more cloud into a few places, but across the far north, Russell, 21, decent sort of day. Auckland, you could pick up a bit more cloud, particularly across western areas. I think you're otherwise dry. Same sort of thing to, say, Tauranga, Hamilton, a bit more cloud. As you work down to, say, New Plymouth, that front might give you a bit more cloud, a few spots of rain, but all the way east you are, you're in fine shape. Look at Gisborne and Napier. Decent day for the outside, 22. Now, we'll have more cloud coming in from Manawatu, Wanganui to Wellington. Might give you a few spots of rain, but not all day. Probably just for the first part of the day. Marston is otherwise dry, about 20. And Blenheim as well, but a bit more patchy cloud here. Nelson too. Maybe the western range of Nelson and the Marlborough Sounds could get the odd shower. Could be a few odd showers early to places like Hokitika towards Westport, but those thin themselves out. And along the east coast, got a decent day. Christchurch, Timaru, all the way to the south. Because that front has eased through, just some patchy cloud, probably about 16 for Dunedin, Invercargill about the same. As we run through the rest of the weekend, we've cleared the first weather system out of the way. Catch your breath for a bit. Then you look at the big ugly monster in the corner of the room, the next weather system. This has some more oomph to it. You can see with the winds, that's a good old northerly, that's a good lump of rain. So that comes into the west coast as we probably get into the nighttime hours, into the first part of Monday. But this weather system seems to want to push through instead of lingering like the last one. So it'll be a band of rain and wind. That moves across parts of central areas, the North Island through Monday into early Tuesday. And then see how the low goes? He's not hanging about, not spinning around like a car stuck in the mud. So that means some showers clearing through. Still might have a few on the western coast and drying out slowly as we get to Tuesday and early Wednesday. That's the weather for now. More at metservice.com.